tayo na't ating alamin kung ano ang e-learning for agriculture and fisheries. Ang e-learning for agriculture and fisheries ay isang major component ng Department of Agriculture, Agricultural Training Institute o DAATI e-extension program na nagbibigay alternatibo sa tradisyonal na serbisyong ekstensyon sa pagsasaka, pangingisda, maging sa sektor ng natural resources sa pamamagitan ng ICT o Information and Communication Technology. Paano magrehistro sa e-learning? Bumisita sa e-extension site na e-extension.gov.ph at i-click lamang ang e-learning component. I-click ang Create New Account link. Sagutan ang account registration form. Makakatanggap ka ng mensahe sa email para sa kumpirmasyon ng inyong account. At pwede ka na mag-login gamit ang inyong account. Bilang e-learners, makaka-enroll ka na sa iba't ibang kurso patungkol sa agrikultura at pangingisda. Pangalawa, maaari ka rin makadownload na ng digital learning resources o TechnoKits. At makakapanood ka pa ng mga video clips. Maaari ka na rin makisali sa iba't ibang diskusyon at forum online. Ako po si Kuya Chan, yan ang ating alamin.
Ito ng bagong pananaw.
Sa magpalayang umaga Pilipinas, Diyos marhay na Aldao Bicolandia. Welcome po sa isa namang umatikabo at hitik na hitik sa impormasyong talakayan sa pagsasaka. Ang ating kaugnay School on the Air on Organic Agriculture dito po sa probinsya ng Camarines Norte, the gateway to Bicolandia. Hatid po sa inyo ng Department of Agriculture, Agricultural Training Institute, ATI Bicol, sa pagkikipagtulungan po natin sa Camarines Norte Provincial Local Government Unit at Provincial Agriculture Office at sa mga lokal na pamahalaan ng 12 munisipyo. Ito po ang inyong lingkod, si Kuya Mike. Tayo po ay napapakinggan sa impilan ng radyo dito sa Camarines Norte, DWEN 100.5 Cool Radio, tuwing Biyernes sa ganap na alas 10 hanggang alas 11 ng umaga at tuwing Sabado at Linggo sa ganap na alas 9 hanggang alas 10 ng umaga. Isang oras po tayong magsama-sama sa araw ng Biyernes, Sabado at Linggo sa loob ng 3 buwan at sabay-sabay na matututo sa pamamaraang organiko. Gandang buhay po sa ating 500 farmer enrollees at syempre ang kanilang mga SOA coordinators na nanggaling sa 12 munisipyo dito po sa lalawigan ng Camarines Norte. Magandang araw po bayan ng Basod, Kapalonga, Daet, Jose Panganiban, Labo, Mercedes, Paracale, San Lorenzo, San Vicente, Santa Elena, Talisay at Binsons. Ngayon pa lang po ay kami taus-pusong nagpapasalamat na sa inyong pagsuporta at pagpapahalaga sa mga adikain ng kagawaran ng pagsasaka. Okay? So tayo rin po ay nasusubaybayan via YouTube. Just follow us on our official account, ATI Bicol, #Sarbay Channel, at FB page ng ATI Bicol at syempre sa FB page din ng DWEN 100.5 FM ang ating partner radio station dito sa probinsya ng Camarines Norte. Okay, so malapit-lapit na po tayong matapos sa ating School on the Air. By next week po ay atin ng graduation na po, okay, virtual graduation. Pero bago po tayo mag-virtual graduation next week sa Linggo, okay, sa next week sa ano po yan, June 12, okay? So ngayong araw ay dadako na po tayo sa paksang Raising Organic Chicken. So dalawa na lang po ang natitirang paksa, itong organic chicken at yung Raising Organic Small Ruminants, okay? So ngayong araw po ay makakasama po natin para talakayin ang ating Raising Organic Chicken, ang mahusay at masipag na Farm School Secretary at trainer ng Longabelas Kalikasan Farm at UAPNC2, TM1 and NTTC holder. Okay, dami ha. So ayan. So si Ma'am Marjorie T. Bernas po makakasama natin para talakayin ang ating paksa ngayong araw. So magandang umaga, Ma'am Marge.
Good day, everyone. Okay, so today we will be discussing about raised organic chicken. It is one of the core competencies of organic agriculture production in situ that is being offered by the TESDA schools or farm schools. They said core competencies of OAP is that is one, the raised organic chicken, and then the produce organic vegetables, produce organic fertilizers, and produce organic concoctions and extracts, together with the two elective competencies, which are the raised organic small ruminants and raised organic swine. So, if you have undergone these 6 competencies under OAP NC2, so you will be receiving a National Certificate Level 2, which is a very strong credentials when you are looking or applying for a job. Raising organic chicken, it covers the learning of the knowledge, the skills, and attitudes that is required to raise organic chicken efficiently and effectively. It includes selecting healthy stocks, determining a suitable chicken house requirements, as well as you will also undergo the installation of cage equipment, and then feeding the chicken, and then managing health and growth of chicken, and also of course the harvesting of chicken, and then the post-harvest activities, including the marketing of the harvested organic chicken. So in raised organic chicken, we have these learning outcomes: the select healthy stocks and suitable housing, setting up cage equipment, feeding chicken, and grow and harvest chicken. Before we move on to those learning outcomes, let us have a background of what is chicken. So, lahat naman tayo siguro nakakita na at alam naman kung anong klase yung chicken. So, in Filipino language or Filipino name, ang chicken po ay tinatawag nating manok. That is the local name or Filipino name of chicken. For the English name, of course, that is chicken. So, chicken is a domesticated subspecies of a red jungle fowl with attributes of wild species such as gray and Ceylon jungle fowl that are originally from southeastern Asia. The earliest archaeological evidence for this domesticated chicken that was reported from sites in China where chicken bones had been found dating back 10,000 to 8,000 years ago. When we say domesticated, these are kept for egg or meat production as well as for the entertainment, or it is kept as a pet. Inaalagaan po itong mga animals na to, including this chicken. So, yung purpose niya, it's either for egg or meat production or for entertainment. Halimbawa, of course, yung most commonly, yung sabong. And then, meron ding ibang nag-aalaga nitong chicken as their pet. For the scientific name of chicken, we have the Gallus domesticus, and chicken can live up to 5 to 10 years. So, that is their lifespan. Kaya nilang mabuhay for about 5 to 10 years. Chicken also belongs in the order of Galliformes, family of Phascianidae, and then phylum Chordata, and under kingdom Animalia. Just a short trivia, the largest chicken, the species of chicken is known as the Jersey Giant chicken. Okay, it is the largest chicken in the world. These huge birds originated from New Jersey in Northeast America and can weigh up to 13 pounds. That is almost 6 kilograms. That is the equivalent in kilograms of this Jersey Giant chicken. They are known for being a docile breed with an excellent temperament, and they are kept as a pet. Okay. The most commonly cold or let me say, we call a group of chicken a flock. Okay, that is the collective noun for a group of chicken or most birds. It is also called as flock of chickens or brood of chickens. As for the reproduction of chicken, as with most bird species, roosters and hens, they do not have external genitalia. So instead, both partners, they procreate using an external orifice called the cloaca. So when the cloaca of both sexes touched each other, so the sperm from the male chicken transferred into the female reproductive part. So that is how chicken reproduce. Okay, so chicken is one of the most common and widespread domestic animals, and with a total population of more than 19 billion, that is as of 2011. And as for the latest population of chicken, as of April 2, 2022, we have 25.9 billion chickens living in the world. Okay, that is how huge the population of this chicken. This is very widespread. And as of October 1, 2021, it was estimated at 190.74 million population of chicken here in the Philippines. There are also over 150 different breeds of chicken that comes in various color, patterns, and sizes. So this difference between the color, the patterns, and sizes of chickens, that is how we determine the breeds. Okay, the breeds of chicken. So to be able to work with chickens, we must first know the various parts of a chicken and their function and how we will distinguish male and female chickens. We have here the major external parts of the chicken. So we have the comb, the beak, wattles, ears, earlobes, the eyes, eye rings, the wings, tail, thighs, hocks, shanks and spurs, claws, and toes. So both the male and female chickens have these basic parts. So we will discuss this one by one. Let me first discuss to you the comb. So the comb, it sits on top of the hen's head, and in a healthy is likely to be red, plump, and glossy. So the different breeds of hen, they have also a different shape of combs. So this comb, it is made up of a collagen fibers in the form of protein bundles. It is similar to a rubber band, which is elastic. Okay, so it helps to give the comb its elasticity. That is one of the characteristics or property of this comb. It is elastic. So the comb is composed of several layers, and the one that we see, the external part or the outer layer of the comb, is called the epidermis. Okay, that's the color red. Okay, that is the epidermis. As for the different combs of chickens, ayan, we have this one, the buttercup, the carnation, strawberry, the pea, walnut, rose, single, cushion, and V-comb. Okay, these are the different combs of chickens, and okay, we have 9 different combs of chicken. As for the buttercup, kung mapapansin nyo po, the buttercup is 2 single combs that is merged over the beak as well as the back. So, yung combination ng dalawang single combs the single combs, it forms a cup shape or a crown. Okay? That is, the cups surmounted by regularly spaced medium-sized points. Okay, so parang yung shape ng buttercup is resembles as a crown. Okay, so the buttercup comb is makikita lang natin siya sa mga Sicilian buttercups chicken or breed of chicken. originated in island of Sicily near Italy in the Mediterranean Sea. So, yun, the island is the home of many chickens with the unique buttercup comb type. Okay, so the Sicilian buttercup, it is famous not only for its unique comb type but also for its incredibly beautiful color pattern, which is not found anywhere in the chicken world. So the Sicilian buttercup is the only breed of chicken with the buttercup comb type. Okay, and interestingly, it is the female buttercup that most breeders consider to be the most beautiful, which makes it a convenient addition for the egg production of a flock. Okay, and as for the carnation comb, it is also a very rare comb type. Okay, there are extra points on this comb that stick out at right along the comb's back. Okay, so the carnation, the two breeds that can be seen by this, yung kakikitaan po natin ng ganitong klase ng comb is the Pinidescenca and the Impordanesa. So, yan lang po yung dalawang breed na merong carnation comb. So, etong carnation comb, kung mapapansin nyo, parang single comb din siya with two side sprigs on their side and at the back of the comb. That is the carnation comb. Okay, so we also have here the strawberry. So, yung strawberry naman, this chicken comb sits at a forward angle on your chicken's head. Ayan, so it looks like a strawberry and you can see it on the Yokohama and Malay chickens. The two breeds of chicken that na kakikitaan natin ng ganitong uri ng comb is yung Yokohama and the Malay chickens. So the strawberry variety is a low comb that sits forward of the skull and protrudes over the top of the beak. So, yung pangalan niya na strawberry ay galing po sa strawberry talaga because it resembles, the shape and then the texture of the comb resembles a strawberry. And with the largest end covering at the beak. Okay, so from the beak, medyo mas malaki yung part na yon ng comb. Yung nasa top ng beak of the chicken. And then also, we have the pea comb. It is one of the type of chicken comb. Okay, so it manifests as three connected rows of caruncles in the form of conjoined pea-like protrusions. Yung nasa likod dyan na part, ayan, so it resembles a pea. Okay, pea combs begin at the base of the beak and it is extended towards the top of the chicken's head. So, this type of comb, makikita natin siya sa Araucana, Ameraucana, Bacay, Brahma, Cornish, and Kubalaya breeds. So, medyo maraming breeds yung kakikitaan natin itong pea comb. And then, yung pea comb po is one of the smaller than the other combs. Medyo mas maliit siya compared dun sa ibang combs natin. So, more prominent types of combs are more likely to suffer yung frostbite. So, itong frostbite, it leads to the theories that pea combs may be beneficial for breeds that is common in colder climates or colder areas. Okay, that's the pea comb. And we have the walnut comb. So, yung walnut comb, it is a medium-sized solid comb and it gets its name from the characteristic that is on its surface which is similar to the appearance of a walnut shell. Okay, so it was genetically derived from two dominant alleles for the rose and then the pea combs. So, yung walnut comb, ayan, it is the genetically derived from those two dominant combs which is the rose and then the pea comb. So, yung breeds na kakikitaan po natin ng Walnut comb is the silkies and then the orlops. So these different breeds of chicken, so i-discuss din natin siya later on para mas maintindihan nyo and makita nyo yung difference nila. Okay, as for the rose comb, it can be distinguished by its appearance. It is solid, broad, and almost flat on top. So the breeds that has a rose comb is the Ancona, Minorca, Rhode Island Red, the Nankin, and Leghorns. Okay, so that breed or those breeds exhibits the rose or the single comb varieties. So yung rose comb then, they are a bantam chickens. And among those known as true bantams, meaning they are not a miniaturized version of a large fowl. Okay. And we also have the single comb. Okay, the single comb consists of an upright blade with the top evenly serrated, ideally creating 5 or 6 triangular points. So, this yung parang spikes, yung parang spikes, yan po yung 6 triangular points natin. Yun yung single comb. Yung upright, and it's the comb we think of, it is the commonly comb, na mapapansin natin sa mga chicken. So, the breeds that we can observe this type of comb is the Iam Semani, Barney Velders, Faverolles, the Leghorns, and then the Rhode Island Red. So, these are the examples of chickens with this single comb. And the cushion comb, it is a small and compact and sits low on the head. It should be quite smooth to touch with no spikes, points, or serrations, and will not extend past the middle of the skull. So, yung description natin kay cushion comb, maliit lang siya, compacted, and then parang hanggang half lang siya, yung kino-cover niya dun sa skull ng chicken. Wala din siyang spikes compared to single comb. So, parang flattened lang siya. Okay, the breed of chicken that has a cushion comb is the Chanticleer. It originates in Canada. So, the Chanticleer was developed in the early 20th century of the Abbey of Notre Dame in Quebec. So, it is extremely cold resistant and is suitable for both egg and meat production. So, that is the Chanticleer. The only breed of chicken that has a cushion comb. And the last type of comb is the V-comb. So, the V-comb is often found in chickens with crests on their heads. Okay, so it characterized by 2 points sticking up on either side of the head and protruding from a base. So, the standard V-comb is usually quite small, but can be huge and horn-like on breeds like the La Fleche. So, La Fleche is one of the breeds that has a V-comb type of comb. Okay, that's it. And it's a much less common comb shape than the other more common shapes such as the single or the P-comb. So, they are characterized by 2 points. Okay, by sticking up on either side of the head and protruding from the base. So, literal V-comb, it is V-shaped comb. Okay, that is the number one or one of the basic parts of chicken, the comb. Let's move on to the beak. Okay, so the beak is a multi-purpose organ playing a vital role or variety of functions, including the feeding, the drinking, playing, grasping objects, mating, nesting, preening, and defense against predators and parasites. So, with regards to the poultry production, the beak is the first point of contact between the bird and the feed. So, it serves as the mouth of the chicken. Inside the beak, there are no teeth. So, alam naman natin that chickens does not have teeth. So, instead, there are tiny barbs cover a small triangular tank. Okay, because of this, chickens must always have access to water as they use it to help them soften and swallow their feed. Their feed, swallow their feed. So, a chicken uses its beak to tear off grass, open seeds, and otherwise break foods into a manageable pieces. So, that's the beak or yung tuka ng chicken. So, just a trivia, the bigger, the stronger, and more aggressive chickens bully their way to the top of the flock by pecking the others into submission with their pointy beaks. So, yun yung pecking order, in chicken. Wherein, dyan na din nag-start yung cannibalism. That is why meron tayong tinatawag na debeaking. Okay, so we will encounter that debeaking. Kung ano ba yung purpose niya. What is the importance of debeaking in poultry production? Okay. And we also have the functions of the beak, which is first the chicken's mouth. It used for fighting and protection, and it functions as the teeth of the chicken, enabling the bird to break grass, bananas, and other foods into pieces that small enough to be swallowed. Okay? And next, we have the wattles. Okay, it is part of the chicken's heat regulation system. So, both the comb and then the wattles, they function in thermoregulation. Okay, it helps the bird lose heat during hot weathers. Kasi, di ba, yung birds, they do not sweat. So, to regulate their body temperature, so the comb and then the wattles functions for thermoregulation. Okay, that is the wattles. It is a two thin, flexible flaps of skin that hangs under the rooster's beak. Okay, so the size of the wattles, like the size of the rooster's comb, is related yan sa kanilang testosterone. So, the size, therefore, is an indication of social status. The biggest, the baddest rooster has the biggest and brightest comb and wattles. Okay, and we have also the ears of chicken. So, yung ears ng chicken, this is not visible. But chickens do have ears, although they are hidden by the feathers on the side of the head. So this one. But when the feathers are pushed aside, so you can see there the opening. Okay, that serves as their ears. Wala silang outer ear compared sa atin na human, but they have an earlobes which can be clearly seen. Okay? This is the earlobes of the chicken. So the earlobe of the chicken is the structure on the skin of the face just below the ear. Okay, yung ear hindi siya visible. Okay, but the earlobe is visible. Okay, the outline of which is marked by a slight thickening of the tissue. So the color of the lobe varies with the breed of the chicken. Okay, yung color niya, it ranges from white to almost black earlobe. So, yung chickens with white earlobes, they lay white eggs and exclusively, while birds with dark lobes, they lay brown eggs. So, sa earlobes, madedetermine na natin kung anong color yung egg, na mapoproduce nila. Chickens with white earlobes, they lay white eggs, and birds with dark lobes, so they lay brown eggs. And we also have the eyes. Of course, a chicken eyes are about 10% the entire mass of its head. So, do you know that chickens can see 300 degrees around? Because their eyes are in the sides of their heads. Okay? So, chickens are tetrachromatic. When we say tetrachromatic, it is a rare eye condition that allows for increased color vision. So, kung tayo, ang nakikita lang natin is the red, blue, and green. So, yung chicken, they can also see the ultraviolet lights. Okay, so therefore, they see many more colors and shades than human do. Okay, so a chicken's eyes, as I have mentioned, are about 10% the entire mass of its head, and chickens can see 300 degrees around. Okay, why? Because their eyes are located on the sides of their heads, and chickens are tetrachromatic. Okay, those are the characteristics of chicken's eye. So, because the eye of the chickens are sensitive, are so sensitive, so they can see tiny light fluctuations, okay, that are imperceptible to humans. Yung fluorescent lightning sa chicken ay parang strobe lightning sa atin na human. So, yung fluorescent chicken, it irritates their eyes. Okay? Okay, that's the eye of the chicken. And we also have the eye rings. So, yung eye ring po is simply the skin surrounding each eye. So, parang sa atin, that's the eyelid natin. Okay, so it will cover the eyeball completely when they are closed, basically like an eyelid sa ating human. So, dahil nga yung eye ng chicken is a crucial part ng chicken's anatomy or part of the body of the chicken, so it requires some extra protection in the form of these eye rings. During the day, when chickens are awake, so chickens usually keep their upper and lower lids open, but they frequently blink the nictitating membrane closed momentarily. This white, itong color white na mapapansin nyo sa second picture, that is the nictitating membrane. Yan yung kinuklose ng chicken. Okay, it is a transparent lid that the chickens can see through, and this nictitating membrane helps clean, moisten, and protect the eye of the chicken. Okay, that is considered as their third eyelid. So, unlike humans, chicken have a third eyelid. This one, the nictitating membrane. Okay, it is a thin, semi-transparent membrane that slides horizontally across the eye to protect it from the dirt and debris, as well as to lubricate the eyeball. Yung sabi ko nga kanina, it helps clean, moisten, and protect the eye of the chicken. This color white. Okay, that is the nictitating membrane or the third eyelid of the chicken. And we'll move on to the wings of chicken. So, chicken have wings for their safety, mating, balancing, and caring for their baby chicks. So, this is one of the favorite parts sa chicken meat. Ayan, the wings. Okay. Wings, as you can observe, hens often use their wings to hide their chicks from predators or keep their young warm in cold weather. So, it is also used, yung wings din ng hens is used for natural brooding. So, they sometimes flap their wings in an effort to warn off predators as well. So, do you know that chickens cannot fly very well? But they can flap their wings sufficiently to raise themselves for about 3 meters off the ground. So, yung height na kayang ma-reach or malipad ng chicken is about 3 meters only. Okay, off the ground. Okay, that's the chicken's wing. And the tail feathers. So, the tail is used for balance while walking and in flying. Okay, as a rudder for up and down and side to side motion. So, being one of the least exercise parts of the chicken's body, the tail is identified by the presence of connective tissues as well as fat. Okay, so the meat from the tail is darker shade of pink, which indicates that it contains myoglobin. So it is it is very rare to find this portion in retail, but it is used in certain delicacies. Na po, the tail. And this one, itong pinakamahabang feather na to dito sa likuran ng chicken is the tail feathers. Okay. And the thighs. Okay, the most favorite part in chicken meat. So the thighs is the upper part of the leg attached to the body of the bird. So the thighs or the leg, of the chicken. And we also have the hocks. So we have here the label. So the hocks is the leg joint of the chicken and it bends on the opposite direction. Kung sa atin, sa human, hock is yung tuhod natin, yung knee. It is the joint of the leg of the chicken. Okay, so that is the hock, and we have also the shank. Okay, the shank is the portion of chicken below the hocks. So it is the lower leg of the chicken that is covered by the scales. Yung mapapansin nyo dito, itong may color yellow, that is the shank. Yung may scale, yung parang may kaliskis, that is the shank. And we have the spur. Okay, the spur is the part of the shank bone that's covered with a hard layer made of keratin. So this one, okay, ito na medyo matalas dito sa likod ng shank. Okay, it is part of the shank. It is routinely found on roosters and these are used for protection and fighting. Ano po, yung spur. Okay. And we have the claws and toes. So most chicken have 3 toes projecting forward. Ayan, merong tatlong parang daliri yung ating chicken which points forward and the other one projecting backward. So bali merong 4 na daliri sa kanyang paa si chicken. And the chicken claws are relatively short and not greatly curved and serve the function of scratching. Yung claws po is yung kuko. Yung kuko po ng chicken. Okay, the better care for chickens, it is crucial to being familiar with their anatomy. So the chicken's nails are called claws, na talons. Okay, so ito medyo nalilito tayo dito. Sa claws and talons? Yung talons po are reserved for birds of prey. Despite having similar properties, a chicken's claws plays an essential role in your chicken's activities and even dun sa health ng ating chicken. But, lagi nating tatandaan, yung claws, yan po yung chicken's nail. Okay? Yung kuko po, yan ang nails. That is the claws. And yung toes, yung daliri niya sa paa. Okay. So that's the basic external parts of the chicken, which can be found on both male and female chicken. Let's move on to the parts of chicken in the digestive tract or the internal part of the chicken. So an understanding of the avian digestive system is very essential in developing an effective and economical feeding program for your poultry flock and for recognizing when something is wrong and taking necessary actions to correct the problem. So very important to sa pag formulate natin ng ating feeds and then yun sa papakainin natin sa ating mga chicken. So, sa chicken po, the digestive tract, this is also referred to as the gastrointestinal tract or the GI tract. Okay? Or the digestive tract of the chicken. So, nagsisimula siya, as you can see here in the picture, nagsisimula siya dun sa mouth of the chicken. Okay? Which includes several important organs and it ends in the cloaca. Okay, kung matatandaan nyo yung sinabi ko kanina dun sa introduction natin kay chicken, na cloaca is used for reproduction of the chicken. So, it starts to the beak or the mouth and it ends in the cloaca. Okay, let's start with the avian beak. So, na-discuss ko na din to kanina, dun sa external parts of the of the chicken, the avian beak. So, the chicken obtains feed by using its beak or their mouth, food picked up by the beak, and it enters their mouth. Okay, the avian beak, and we have the esophagus. So, right after the beak or the mouth of the chicken, followed by the esophagus. So, yung esophagus po, it is a flexible tube that connects the mouth with the rest of the digestive tract. So, it carries food from the mouth to the crop. Yung sunod kay esophagus is the crop, and from the crop to the proventriculus. Okay, that's the esophagus. And then the crop. So, ito na si crop. It is an outpacketing of the esophagus and is located just outside the body. Activity in the neck region of the chicken. So, swallowed feed and water are stored in the crop until they are passed to the rest of the digestive tract. So, yung crop po, kapag empty siya or walang laman yung crop ng chicken, it sends hunger signals to the brain of the chicken so that the chicken will eat more. Okay? So, kasi nga, yung crop, yan yung storage, parang storage ng feed ng chicken. So, kapag empty siya, wala na siyang laman, so magsisend yan ng signal doon sa utak ni chicken para maganap na siya ng pagkain or kumain na siya ng marami. Ayan. So, although yung digestive enzymes secreted in the mouth began the digestion process, so very little digestion takes place in the crop because it is a temporary storage pouch nung feeds ng birds or ng chicken. Ayan, so sometimes yung crop din po is it becomes impacted. Okay, lalong-lalo na sa free range. Kasi sa free range chicken or free range o pasture, they nakakakain sila ng mga fibrous na pagkain. Okay, or they eat long pieces of string. So, yung crop impaction, even if a chicken continues to eat, so the feed cannot pass the impacted crop. So, hindi nakakaalis yung feeds doon sa crop. Kaya nagkakaroon po ng swollen crop yung chicken natin, which blocks the windpipe. Yung windpipe ng chicken, which causes the chicken to suffocate. Okay, yun din yung common na na-encounter natin kay crop. Nagkakaroon din siya ng impacho. Ayan. Because of the feeds that they intake. Okay? And, after the crop, we'll move on kay gizzard. Okay, so, the esophagus continues past the crop, connecting the crop to the proventriculus. So, itong proventriculus, it is also known as the true stomach. Okay, it is the glandular stomach where digestion primarily begins. So, yan po si proventriculus, the true stomach of the chicken. And then, si gizzard. Ayan, si gizzard naman, it is referred as mechanical stomach. Okay, kung si proventriculus is the true stomach, si gizzard naman is the mechanical stomach. It is also known as ventriculus. Okay, so the gizzard is made up of two sets of strong muscles that act as the bird's teeth and has a thick lining that protects those muscles. Okay, yung consumed feed and digestive juices from the salivary glands, and proventriculus pass into the gizzard for grinding, mixing, and mashing. So, yung function ni gizzard is for grinding, mixing, and mashing of the feeds that the chicken has intake. Okay, so, kapag nasa free range po, yung chicken natin, they typically eat small stones. Okay, so the acidic environment in the proventriculus softens the stones. Okay, and then the strong muscles of the gizzard grind them into tiny pieces. So, yun yung mga functions nila. They are connected. The stones remain in the gizzard until they are ground into pieces small enough to pass to the rest of the digestive tract. Okay, that's the gizzard. And the small intestine. Okay. The small intestine, it is made up of the duodenum, or also referred to as the duodenal loop, and the lower small intestine. Okay, so the lower small intestine is composed of two parts, the jejunum and then the ileum. So the Meckel's diverticulum, this one, itong nasa picture number 2 natin, this marks the end of the jejunum and the starts of the ileum. So from this point, that is the jejunum, and then kung mapapansin nyo, the Meckel's diverticulum, so that is the start of ileum. Okay, so the duodenum receives digestive enzymes and bicarbonate from the pancreas and bile from the liver. Okay, that's the function of small intestine. Okay, the jejunum and then the ileum, or the two parts of the lower small intestine. Okay, and then the ceca. So the ceca, plural of cecum. So these are two blind pouches located where the small and large intestines join. Some of the remaining, or the water remaining in the digestive materials, are reabsorbed here in the ceca. So one of the important function of ceca is the fermentation of any remaining coarse materials. During the fermentation, the ceca produce several fatty acids as well as the 8B vitamins, the thiamine, riboflavin, and then the other, as well as the vitamin B12. Okay? So yan yung napoproduce ni ceca. Because the ceca are located so close to the end of the digestive tract, few produced nutrients are absorbed and available to the chicken. That is the function of ceca. And let's move on to large intestine. So large intestine is actually shorter than the small intestine. So this is where the last of the water reabsorption occurs. This is also known as the colon. And the last part of the digestive tract, the cloaca, so where the digestive waste mixed with waste from the urinary system, or the urates. So ito na yung sinasabi ko, cloaca serves as for reproduction and of course for fecal release. Okay, that's the cloaca. And let's move on to the chicken terminologies. So we will encounter this terminologies on our discussion. So we have the baby chick, or the chick. So chick just hatch usually 1 to 7 days old. Okay, 1 to 7 days old, that is called chick. And we have also the broiler, or the fryer. So it is a young meat bird chicken of either sex, butchered around 4 to 8 weeks of age. So yung broiler, it is for meat production. After 4 or 8 weeks, pwede na siyang katayin. That is broiler. And we have the layer. So si layer naman, ito yung of course, naglilay ng eggs. Okay, ito yung inahin natin. Okay, they are kept for egg production. And the rooster, so it is a young chicken of either sex, usually butchered after 8 weeks of age. Okay, that's the rooster. When we say young chicken, hindi pa sila nakapag-produce or nakapag-reproduce. Okay, and the cockerel, okay, it is a young male chicken under 12 months of age. Cockerel, or 1 year of age. And then the kapon, it is a castrated male chicken with soft skin or tendered skin. So, yung kapon po, it is a special type of chicken created to make the meat more tender and less gummy. Okay? So, a kapon is more flavorful than a chicken. Okay? Same with the turkey. Okay? So, mas nagiging tender and juicy yung meat natin. Okay? Kapag kapon, no? Yung binutcher or kinarne. Okay. So, next, yung kapon po, or yung castration, tinatanggal po dyan surgically yung testes. Okay, yung testes ng chicken. Okay, and we have the cock or old rooster. So, it is a mature male over 12 months of age. And then the pallet, so it is a female chicken under 12 months of age and has not started laying eggs. And then yung hen naman, kung kanina si pallet, hindi pa siya nakakapag lay ng eggs. So ito si hen, it is a mature female over 12 months of age and has already lay eggs. Okay, so those are the terminologies or the name of the chickens, so yan. And there are several differences between the male and then the female chicken that will help us to identify or to distinguish whether the chicken is a male or a female. So, let's start with the size of the chicken. So, yung size po ng chicken, the male will grow taller and they usually weigh between 0.5 and 1 kilogram or 1 to 2 pounds more than the females. Okay, of the same age upon reaching maturity. Okay, and then the comb and spurs. So, the comb of the male will become much larger than the comb of the female. Yung sa spurs naman, so on female, it hardly develop all, okay, compared sa male. Okay, so yung spurs, makikita talaga natin siya, mas makikita natin siya sa male chicken. Okay, because it is used for fighting, and protection. And next, we have the vocal expression. So, we all know that male or the rooster crows while a hen doesn't. Okay, mas tumitilaok si rooster compared kay hen. Okay. And the feathers, so kay adult males, it is distinguishably different feathers from those of the adult females. And then the most distinguishable are the tail feathers, which are long and stringy on the male compared kay female. Okay, so mas yan. That is how we will distinguish male chicken from female chicken. Okay, so
Ayan, okay. So, maraming salamat po, Ma'am Marge ng Longabelas Kalikasan Farm ng Anislag, Albay po yan. Okay? Ang Longabela Kalikasan Farm ay isa pong LSA at SPA na rin po sa ngayon ng ATI Bicol. So, salamat po ma'am sa pagtalakay regarding sa Raising Organic Chicken. So, makakasama pa rin po natin bukas si Ma'am Marge para po pagpatuloy ang ating ang paksa sa organic chicken. Okay? So, ayan mga farmer enrollees, marami naman pong dagdag kalamang ating nakuha. So, bukas nga po, ang sabi ko kanina, ay pagpapatuloy pa rin po natin ang talakayan sa Raising Organic Chicken. Napakabilis po talaga ng oras. Maraming salamat sa DAPLGU ng Camarines Norte, OPAG at ang 12 LGUs ng Camarines Norte. Sa aming Center Director, Ma'am Elsa, Chief po ng aming IS, Ma'am Prime, and nakasama po rin natin sa technical side si Kuya Chan at si Miss Joy din, ang ating admin staff ng IS. So napakarami na pong ating nadaanan. Kaya maraming salamat po mga ating kaugnay sa pagsubaybay, pakikinig at panonood. Bukas araw ng linggo, 9 to 10 ng umaga po tayo. Same station pa rin. At ito po ang inyong lingkod, si Kuya Mike, na nag-iiwan ng isang masaganang ani, mataas na kita mga kaugnay. Stay safe and stay healthy. Let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. Sa OA, we are all okay. Diyos mabalos po.